Hi there, and welcome to Speed Learning on Lions Virtual with Dimple Willabus. Welcome. Today, we're going to just discuss a few ideas and share some tips on how you can keep your marketing for your club pretty spicy just using some simple methods. All right. And it really starts with um your camera. I know it's really simple. I want to leave this real quote with you first. This one here, you should take a screenshot. It says, "Don't confuse being seen with getting noticed." And that's true because a lot of times we're in a room with a room full of people and we're being seen, but how do we stand out in that room? How do we get noticed? And this is what it's all about in this particular session, right? How are we being noticed in a group? Because right now we're competing as lions with other organizations, with other companies, technically to be seen, to be noticed. Because in the humanitarian space, there's so many other, organizations that are still trying to do the same things to some degree we'll be doing. And while we're working together, we still want to find a way where we can separate ourselves in a unique way to be noticed, right? So some basics of taking photographs. And it's something we sometimes overlook. The first one is use a plain background, check the lighting, which is very critical, and make sure use a flash when necessary. Just don't stand in front of an object because usually when you stand in front of an object, it makes you look like an extension of the object. And if you're standing by a banner, try not to have the banner or you not stand too close to that banner. Try to step like 1 foot away from the banner so that you do not look like an extension of the banner or paste it onto the banner. So these are just super small tips. Now, this particular photograph is very simple. Now, there are 2 shots of each photograph, and one is very extreme, one is close up, and one is a little distance. Now, as Lions, when we're doing our service projects or taking pictures to share for a newsletter, we want to make sure our photographs are actually, attractive to our viewers, people who are we trying to promote our organization to. So it's important for us to kill all the dead room, get rid of all the dead room, the headroom, and what we call dead space in the marketing space. So in the marketing, the words we use. So you just get rid of the sides, you edit the sides, bring it in. As you can see, the picture in the red and the white, it shows you the half pose. It shows you a little more intimate facial expression of those 2 photographs. And this one here I actually took with my camera, and I wanted to demonstrate when you stand and take a photograph and the sun is behind you, it kind of blurs and it kind of take away from the image and or the person you're trying to photograph. And these are photographs, like I said, is being shot with my phone. So look at the second photographs where it says sun in front. Now, in this photograph, it clearly shows you I had the subject angled in a way where the sun is on the subject. So in this case, is using the same subject, is just about lighting, because lighting can really destroy, what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to promote. So it's very important that we continue to look at these basic tips when we're promoting our Lions Club or taking photographs. Now, here's another example with my phone. Now, this here is a product that is being, sold to promote muscular dystrophy for a child of one of our lions, and his organization is called Jar of Hope. And Jar of Hope is not playing around with some of the labeling for this coffee. So what I did, this is a sample that was given to me, and I wanted to demonstrate how you can use your phone to also take some really good photographs at home. And the photograph that says simple is pretty much that's what it is. I put it on my table and just try to do a little design with the 2 pumpkins at the sides. And then the other one is a super busy background. So it depends on what we use in our background. It's critical to what we're trying to promote. If there's someone in your background, if there are people, standing too close to you, or there's an extension of anything at the back, then it kind of distracts the viewers or the person who's watching your image from exactly what you're trying to promote. So these are just simple basic tips that you can use. Like I said, right after the training, you can do this. And I want you to be cognizant of it when you're taking photographs. Now, when we're doing our service project, a lot of times we take photographs in groups, just standing around holding the object. For example, if we're giving away backpacks or if we're giving away food, we stand with a turkey in our hand or the backpack in our hand. Now, when we're doing service projects and we're trying to promote this to a sponsor or to our community, we want to look as though we're genuinely engaging with what we're doing. So with these images that are being shared here, I wanted you to see how, these are action shots, except for the one in the middle where our Leo, Anaya, is holding one of the plants that is being planted for an environmental project for new plants. Now, if you notice, we're all in these images, except for one, are wearing our Lions vest. Now, our Lions vest, believe it or not, is a major marketing tool. How is that so? Because our yellow vest is so bright, it stands out. Now, look at these images. You see the yellow vest, it pops. So it's critically important for us to understand these key components and basics of marketing when we market in our club. So it's important for us to wear a vest. And I do know there are some clubs that do not have a vest or wear vests because, different parts of the world, things are done differently. But if you look at the bottom, there are two of our lions. My club is called First Responders Lions Club. And if you look at the bottom, you'll see two lions. They're not wearing vests, but they're wearing our club shirts, our club sweaters, and it reads First Responders on it. So there's a theme behind it, even though they're not wearing their yellow vests. And the image in the middle, you see Leo and Naya wearing her Leo vest. And of course, I am a big proponent and supporter of our Leos. So you'll always see me talking not only about our lions, but our Leos, because I believe they're our now and not the future. So that's some of the little tips regarding photography. And when you look at these action shots, you want to make sure they're bright enough. You want to make sure you cut out as much as possible the headroom and the dead space at the side. Whatever's within that frame is exactly what you want to be seen. And every image tells a story. We must remember that every image tells a story. And it's critical that we understand that there's a story behind every image. Now, let's talk about something that we all recently know about, which is the Cybertruck. Now, the Cybertruck, I don't know about you, but here in New York, where I live in Brooklyn, the Cybertruck, I've seen it a lot of times. But every time I see the Cybertruck, I tend to stop and just look because it gets my attention. And that's a marketing strategy. That's a serious marketing strategy. And guess what? The Cybertruck is not exactly cheap. The Cybertruck is $80,000 starting. And if you want it fully loaded, then the price goes up. So look at what the Cybertruck looks like. Exactly what the name says, Cybertruck. Look at it. And then on the left, there's another image of me with a few sports cars. Now, the thing about the image with me with the sports cars is that those cars are kind of like what we're accustomed to seeing to some degree in terms of what is a luxury car. But with a Cybertruck now, if you were to see a Lamborghini pass, you would glance at a Lamborghini. It's cute. It's very nice looking. It's kind of like what we were trained to kind of see in a good looking car, as people say, or a really nice car, very expensive car. But with a Cybertruck, for whatever reason, it also grabs your attention. So these are all things that when we think about marketing, we have to be cognizant and pay attention to what is out there. And, how can we also market our club in a way that it stands out. So again, this little session is just to give you some tips on how not only how can you market your club in a meaningful way, but in a simplistic way, because not all of us are tech savvy. Not all of us have a very expensive camera, but most of us have our smartphones where we can use our smartphones to take photographs. So again, the takeaway from this is that I want you to start paying attention to those specific details on how you can market your club. It's just simple steps, very, very simple steps. And again, those simple steps are making sure you look at the headroom and the dead space, edit the photograph on your phone so that you're mindful of that. Pay attention to your lighting. Lighting is very, very critical. As I showed the first slide here where it talks about lighting, make sure we pay attention to the lighting and make sure we understand colors. Colors are critical to our promotion and marketing for our club. So when you're doing any kind of marketing, just as we talk about vests, us as lions, we wear vests, right? The crossing guard in this image also is wearing a vest because he want to be noticed so that cars will pay attention, and he has a stop sign in his hand to show this is where you have to stop because I'm here. So just like lions, when we wear a vest, we want people to stop. And just like when we're doing promotion or any kind of advertising for our club, we want to make sure that people stop, pay attention, and listen. So it's also critical for us to understand that there are ways of how we can promote our Lions Club using pictures. Not only can we use pictures for social media, excuse me, but we can use images for our, if we have a logo for our Lions Club, our Leo Club, we can use that logo and make decals. We can make banners. We can make posters. We can make just about any kind of imagery you could think about. We can even do a tent in public. You know, if you have a food drive or something, you can have a tent. And just remember, as a Lions Club, you do not necessarily have to get funding only from your members. You can solicit funds. You can solicit funds from local businesses. You can partner with your local, grocery store, franchise. You could go into the manager and try to negotiate with them, talk with them, tell them what you do as a Lions Club so that you can start working with them. And when you go to volunteer at your church or your place of worship, make sure you take some literature. Now, if you want to save on, using paper or not using paper, you can actually come up with a QR code for your club. So having a QR code for your club is also pretty important. So if you have that QR code on your phone, then you could use a QR code on your phone and scan it. The person could scan it, saving paper, and then it could take them to your social media page, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever the case is. So again, these are simple tips on Lions Virtual. And this session again is guerrilla marketing, get noticed and stay noticed. How do you stay noticed? Always be in a room where you're meeting new people. Always understand that it's critical for you as a Lion or as a Lions Club to keep meeting new people, growing. All right. So I hope you've learned a little tip here during our session. This is my email. Again, my name is Dimple Willabus. That's my email. And this is a little quote that I want to leave you with. Quiet people notice everything, but they don't get noticed. So remember to, if for those of you who are watching and who are learning from, I hope you learned something from this, but also I want to encourage you to go on Facebook. I have a marketing group. It's called Marketing Beyond Facebook. You can like and enter that group. We have a lot of information sharing in that space as well. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I want to thank you so much for your time. This is Dimple Willabus again saying thank you so much.